I am Aaron from Timeout Video Games, and welcome to the first installment of TOVG TV. Now, for this first installment, I am going to talk about some of the recent wrestling games that I have gotten in the last year, with the newest information coming out about WWE 13 and everything coming out. There's a lot of excitement and buzz on the internet around it. So I thought I'd talk about the last two games that I have received. Now I'm going to start with, for the Nintendo 3DS, I have WWE All Stars. And this is a really cool game that came out for many of the platforms and for the 3DS. There are a lot of differences, but the only one I have is the 3DS version. I played the console version once or twice, and it actually came with this cool little like 3D cover. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty neat, but it doesn't attach to it actually. So it's quite disappointing. But let's start off with this game. This game came out in 2011, last year, made by THQ, and they kind of wanted to harken back to the arcade games that came out in the 90s, like WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, some of the older games that came out for the arcades and Super Nintendo. It actually reminded me a lot of it with the gameplay, where the moves and the hits, pins, everything was exaggerated immensely, and it kind of seemed like a fighter game more than a wrestling game and a combat simulator. Or a wrestling simulator, not really combat. So it was a really fun game, and I want to start with one of the things that really stood out to me as the graphics. Now, they were made to kind of be over the top and really exaggerated some of the features on them, so they seemed extremely cartoonish. And with the console versions, this one really stood out, and they could tell. But with the 3DS version, because it wasn't as powerful as everything else, it kind of looked like it was just painted on. They looked more barrel-chested instead of over-muscular, which was really odd, and really took away from it because they just seemed fat instead of athletic. So that was really the only bad thing I can say about this game. It was actually a really fun game. As I said before, the gameplay was really reminding me of some of the older arcade games where they would have, like, the Undertaker would shoot ghosts out of his hand for no reason, and they didn't really explain why. It was just doing it and you just accepted it. So it just reminded me of those type of games where you punched. In this game, a lot of the finishers are exaggerated, like the perfect plex, for instance. Instead of just taking him and suplexing, fisherman suplex, he jumps in the air, spins a couple times, and then slams him down and pins him. Really cool to watch, but really over-exaggerated because you really don't see those moves in real life. And one thing I was disappointed with was the entrances in this game. They are very short. It's about, you see the wrestlers walk a few steps and they stop. You know, I love the entrance music for wrestlers. Entrances is one of the coolest things in the newer games, which I'll get to the next game in a few minutes. It's one of the coolest things to do, reenact and watch how they reacted some of the entrances. In this game, they kind of fell short. The one thing I really liked about this was the whole gimmick of All Stars was seeing older wrestlers face off against the newer ones. Like, you had John Cena versus Hulk Hogan, and no matter how much you might not like John Cena or like him, you had to play as him. Or they had Macho Man in there. They had Jake the Snake versus Randy Orton. And one of the cool ones was CM Punk against Stone Cold Steve Austin, what they said is possible. It's been rumored for WrestleMania matchup over the past few years, and that was really cool because before all of them, it's kind of like a story mode. Before all of them, they would have a video kind of showing you why they're fighting and kind of like a little promo for it. And the one for Austin Punk was really well done. I would tell you to check it out if you could. Just go on YouTube. It's there. It's pretty sweet and really cool, and I enjoyed it immensely. So this game, I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. Solid game. Pick it up. If you have the 3DS, really good game to pick up. The 3D's nice in this game. It adds a little bit to it. It's not necessary, but I would say it's a really good pickup. Try it out, especially if you like wrestling games that aren't really wrestling simulators, more like fun arcade games. Now let's move on to the other game I got recently, and my girlfriend actually gave me this one. It's WWE 12. It's the first in the new line of WWE type games. It used to be SmackDown versus Raw, and then they just combined them to just make WWE games. And as you can see, Randy Orton's on the cover. CM Punk's on the cover of the new one. And this is more, as I said with All Stars, it wasn't a wrestling simulator. This is a wrestling simulator. No fancy cover though, unfortunately, but still a good cover. Randy Orton's posing like that, kind of looking off to the side, like he's like, I'm going to RKO you. But he doesn't, which is good. He can just play the game. One thing that I just liked about this game was that they added a lot of cool features and they updated a lot of them. Since the last one I played before this was SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. And it was fun to see what they added to it. The storyline, though, while fun and interesting, they changed it for this game. They made it so that the endings to the matches were predetermined instead of going through it. What I mean by that is you would try your hardest to pin a guy, but then when you reached a certain amount, it would just do a cutscene, which would then bring you, oh, you got DQ'd, and that's what they wanted you to end it. So you never really cause the outcome of the match. You had to just go along with the story, which was slightly disappointing. It was slightly like, why am I playing this game? Why did I even play this match? I really am only invested to see how the storyline progresses instead of actually doing it. And one of the things you want to do in a game is cause the storyline to progress. And one that this game is really well known for its bugginess, glitchiness, especially with downloading user-created content. I bought this game. One of the reasons why I didn't buy this. Sorry. One of the reasons why I got this game is that I wanted to have the user-created content and download it. And I wanted to download a lot of them. And one of the problems is that you download it, and then the game glitches up. You download the character, or whatever you want to download, and you have to restart the game, and then go back into it, which it takes a while to get back into it. So it seems like to download 3 or 4 or 5 contents, user-created contents, you're there for a while. You're restarting it. You're loading onto it. You're booting up and everything so many times in a row. It's really annoying, and it really stopped me from wanting to do that. The WWE Universe part of the game is really fun. There's a lot of WCW added content in this, like the title, like arenas, which as a huge WCW fan when I was younger, that was fun. I was able to download Sting and have him win the World Heavyweight title, the WCW Heavyweight Championship, and face off against like Undertaker, and have him face off against people that you've always wanted to see face, and kind of reenact the Monday Night Wars if you wanted to, and do what you can. But it kind of forced you into other situations that you didn't want to play. So within that, of an awesome aspect of the WWE Universe, they had some downfalls that they failed at. So this game overall was a fun game. I feel like there's a lot to improve on with the new game 13. And it seems like they're trying something new with the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era format for different wrestlers in it. It's not the usual thing for them this year. And it looks like hopefully they can improve on what they didn't do well in WWE 12, and even what they did do well. Because even though there were some bad spots, I would still give this game a 7.5 out of 10. Fun game, fun introduction back into the WWE Universe in gaming. And I hope that they can only go higher with WWE 13. So those are just 2 games I wanted to highlight for this first episode. I'm going to be hoping to make more episodes, and hopefully you'll enjoy this and get more viewers to the blog. Don't forget, I have a blog. It's Time Out Video Games. You can go to it at www.tovg.blogspot.com. Also have Facebook, www.facebook.com/timeoutvideogames. Go to both of those, follow, subscribe to the blog. I got some good videos posting up of just random fun videos I find online, and reviews, written columns, some pictures I posted of some cool video game related pictures I find online. And I got a friend who's posted a couple things on there too, reviews. So check those out. Check out the Facebook for updates, and keep following this YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'm Aaron from Time Out Video Games. Thank you for watching TOVG TV. We'll see you next time.